Fallout 76 releases on the 14th of November this year. That means that by the time we're recording this, there's about a month and a half to wait. That really isn't a long time. Considering Bethesda haven't made a mainstream Fallout title in 3 years, it's about fucking time. But Fallout 76 isn't an average Fallout game. Many already know this, but Fallout 76 will be 100% completely online. And a big change like that definitely going to attract more people to the Fallout franchise who have never played a Fallout game in their life. But if you are one of those people planning on getting Fallout 76 and have no clue about the game before it, then I highly recommend watching this video, as today I'll give you an in-depth analysis of 2015's Fallout 4. This is easily my favourite game of all time, and also this video is relatively spoiler free, and if I think at any point what I'm about to say could be a spoiler, I will make a warning and put a timestamp on screen. But without further ado, let's just go right into this video. Fallout 4, like said earlier, was a 2015 sequel to the last Fallout game Bethesda developed, which was Fallout 3. Fallout New Vegas did come out after Fallout 3, however it was developed by a different company and doesn't really have anything to do with Fallout 3 and 4. That being said, you don't need to play Fallout 3 before 4, you can just go right into the Fallout franchise at Fallout 4 and get the same experience you would get if you played Fallout 3 prior. Aside from a few references, the story of Fallout 4 is completely unrelated to Fallout 3, so don't worry about not understanding it. In this video, I've split my points up into 4 sections: the introduction, story, gameplay, and then my personal thoughts. If you have any thoughts or criticisms, please let me know in the comments, and if you enjoy this video, please consider leaving it a like, subscribing if you haven't already, as although I haven't uploaded in almost 2 months, I will be uploading more frequently from here on out. So without further ado, let's just move on to our first proper section, which is Fallout 4 story. Also, I'm now realising I forgot to mention this, timestamps will also be in the description for each section, so if you want to look at something in particular, just look in the description. Fallout 4 story is good. Well, is it the best Fallout story I've ever seen? No, not at all, but that doesn't make it bad. It's definitely not the worst story. I'm looking at you, Fallout 3. However, Fallout 4's story is still really interesting. The bulk of Fallout 4's story takes place in the year 2287. This is 210 years after the Great War. The reason I say the bulk is because Fallout 4 begins in 2077, the day the world ended. You're sent to a vault when the sirens start blaring, but unknown to you, Vault 111 is secretly just a testing ground for a new experiment: cryogenic conservation. During your sleep, you're woken up, and 2 mysterious figures enter the scene and proceed to try to take your son, who is in the arms of your husband/wife, depending on what gender you chose. Naturally, they resist, and one of the figures shoots and kills them, and leaves with your son. You're left helpless in your pod as you're put back into cryosleep, and when you finally wake up, you have no idea when it is, and when you finally leave the vault, you find a world completely changed by conflict. Despite this, your goal is still to find your son, and nothing is going to stop you. Except maybe some side quests and a settlement building system, but nevertheless there are 4 factions you can side with throughout your journey, and I'm going to list these in the order you meet them in the story. So first up is the Minutemen. When you meet them, the Minutemen are at an all-time low, and I'm not going to go into depth as to why, but if you choose to, you can rebuild the Minutemen from the ground up, helping settlements and making the wasteland a better place for everyone. Except raiders, they can fucking die. Next up is the Brotherhood of Steel. The BOS are all about keeping technology out of the wrong hands. The Brotherhood absolutely despise anything non-human, which includes ghouls, super mutants, wasteland creatures, but especially synths. We will get to those soon though. The Brotherhood of Steel are the closest we have to a military faction in post-war Boston, so if you're looking for a force to be reckoned with, then the Brotherhood are for you. The Railroad, however, are a secret, more stealth-based faction who fight for the liberation of synths. They can even use Morse code to communicate through radio. They reside in a crypt underneath a church in Boston and can be difficult to find if you don't pay attention. The Railroad are the go-to faction for stealth characters, as the loot and perks you get from them go hand in hand with a character revolved around sneaking. Okay, I'm going to issue a small spoiler warning now before we talk about our next faction, so if you don't want anything spoiled for you, I'd go at the timestamp on screen. Okay, now our 4th faction is the Institute. They've been around for a while and no one knows how to find them. The Institute are a technologically advanced group of people who created synths. They use synths almost as slaves, and whether or not you find that justified is up to you. Synths are synthetic artificial people who are capable of independent and free thinking that the Institute used to spy on the public. This is terrifying for the people, as they don't know if their loved ones are who they say they are. I could go on and on, but I don't want to spoil the experience for you. However, Enough about the story, let's just talk about the gameplay. Also, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Fallout 4's gameplay is similar, yet completely different from any other Fallout game. Fallout 4 can be played in third or first person, and is real time, not turn based and isometric like 1 and 2, open world RPG. Due to the fact that Fallout takes place in a post-apocalyptic America, civilization as you remember it is pretty much gone. There are a few towns dotted around the map where you can buy sell items, get medical help if needed, sometimes even a haircut or a complete facial reconstruction. Most prominent of these will be Diamond City. Diamond City is pretty integral to the story, so let's go on in depth with that. Diamond City is located pretty much in the middle of the map, and to get there at a low level, there are some routes you can take to get there without needing to fight any enemies, but chances are you will need to fight ghouls, super mutants, and even a Yogwai. I know when I mention these you're probably confused as to what they are, but I will go more in depth to combating enemies in a bit. Once you make it to Diamond City however, you now have a safe place in the centre of the map to visit. Let's go more in depth with the map. Fallout 4's map is actually smaller than 3 New Vegas's, but it's filled with a lot more locations and points of interest. You start out in the northwest corner of the map at Vault 111. The further south you go, the more dangerous it gets, and the number and level of enemies gradually increases until you hit the glowing sea, an area full of radiation as it is ground zero for a nuclear detonation sought at the beginning of the game. In the glowing sea, mid to end game creatures like deathclaws, rad scorpions, stingwings, and bloodbugs are abundant. You can also go east of the vault to find enemies like gunners, raiders, some low level creatures like mordats, and even some difficult enemies like Yogwai. The enemies in Fallout 4 are often mutated animals, or in the case of raiders, people who terrorise settlements and are hostile towards the player. To fight these enemies, it would help to know about the combat system. Fallout 4, like I said earlier, is real time. This means that if you're in combat, you won't need to take turns to strategize, and you can just shoot the enemy. However, an optional combat feature is known as VATS, which slows down time and lets you pick your shots at a cost for AP, which is basically your stamina, and have a percentage chance to hit, which depends on obstacles, range, and your perception. Most guns are fully customizable, any weapons workbench often found in settlements, and the same goes for armour. Armour works differently from Fallout 3 New Vegas because a lot of outfits can be worn underneath armour, which now acts as a sort of top layer to your character. Armour also comes in multiple parts, such as left leg, chest piece, etc. The more you level up in the game, the better armour and weapons you get. But let's talk about leveling and perks. You get experience from completing quests, killing enemies, discovering locations, and many more actions. Once you get to a certain amount of XP, you level up. Every time you level up, you get 1 point to put into any perk available. Perks have different tiers and are located on different levels of the perk tree. Each special stat, special just stands for strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, agility, and luck, have 10 tiers and 10 perks which can range from 1 tier to 4 or 5 tiers. The more points you put into a perk, the better it gets. This means that the further you go in the game, the more powerful you become. Fallout 4 also came with a completely new gameplay innovation, settlements. There are 30 settlements around the map, and most of them you get by completing a quest, but some you can just walk up to and get. The junk you find around the world can be converted into components, which can be used to build structures or weapon/armor mods. You can get settlers in your settlement to plant food, and you can place down beds and water pumps and things to make them happy. The best part is, this game mode for the most part is completely optional. If you want to know anything specific about the gameplay, leave a comment and I'll try my best to answer it. But let's move on to our next section, thoughts and recommendations. We made it, the fourth and final section of this video. I'm gonna be honest, I think Fallout New Vegas has a better story, easily. I think many of you would agree, but more options branching out and different endings just really make the difference. I think Fallout 4 is a better game. It just works. I think the gameplay works and the story works, and I just think Fallout 4 is a really good game, and I can't recommend it more. There's plenty of time before Fallout 76, and this would be the perfect time to pick up and play Fallout 4. For a first time playthrough of Fallout 4, if you aren't worried about missing out on achievements and you're playing on console, I do recommend using some mods like makeshift homes, unified clothing overhaul, unlock settlement objects, and maybe some graphic mods if your console can handle it. For PC however, I'd look elsewhere because I honestly have no clue. Either way, I do hope you enjoyed this video, as it took me around a month of on and off editing, script writing, research and getting gameplay. That's by far the most time I've ever put into a video, and now that this is up, it means I'm back. I'll start probably upload Fallout, zombies maybe, some other funny moments and clips from other games. Also, I am bored Shipwrecked and the works, I've also got an idea to do this for all the Fallout DLCs and when it comes out, Fallout 76. Also, since I've been away from YouTube, I've gained a couple of subs, so that's quite cool. If you did enjoy, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Without further ado, I'll see you guys later. Peace.